up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Michael. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button down below. It would mean so much to me if you subscribe to my channel. Today I just wanted to sit down and talk to you all about a topic that I've been reflecting on for the past few months of college. I get a lot of questions about it as well. This is just something that has really come up a lot, especially in college. I hear it a lot, and I'm even in a specific program that deals with this. So if you're probably watching the video, you probably saw the title, and I'm talking about what it means to be a first generation student and all the experiences that I've had with it and just how I feel about being a first generation student. So to start off, UCSB does have a program called Educational Opportunity Program. This program is for first generation and or income eligible students. It's basically a program that provides mentorship, programmings. They have cultural centers in one of our buildings on campus. But it's just a really great program for first generation students to get acclimated to UCSB and just have so many resources and someone to turn to, because college is definitely a long path. Because college is definitely a long path, and there are so many things that go into attending a university that you think you know when you're applying and you're starting to get your acceptance letters and everything, but it isn't until you actually attend that university that you start seeing how all these little things come into play, and it's confusing. It's a really long and confusing process, and I still don't have it down. I'm still trying to figure things out as I go, but I'm just so fortunate that UCSB does offer this program for students because I'm able to get so many resources. If you don't know what first generation means, it just means that your family, so that could be your parents, your guardians, they didn't go to college, so that means that you're the first generation to actually attend college or university. So when I was applying to a bunch of universities, I clicked off the box that asked if I was a first generation student because my parents did not go to college. My brother went to college. He just graduated this year and he's going to grad school. And my oldest sister, she also is in college, and I have some other siblings who are at community colleges. This would mean that we're the first ones in our generation to actually attend a university. So I am first generation, and I didn't really understand what that meant, going into a university. I was kind of confused, why do you want to know if I'm first generation, and what does this really offer for me? I did not really grasp the idea of them wanting to know why I was a first generation student. When I was applying to a bunch of the UCs, I clicked off the box where it asked if I wanted to apply to the Educational Opportunity Program, or EOP, and it was for first generation students, and I was like, yeah, why not? Because they do give out a lot of resources for students, and this was just a lot of information that I needed. So coming to a big university, I go to UCSB, and I was really lost. I had no idea what was going on, and that's totally normal to have that feeling of being lost on a college campus. But for me, it was more of I have no one to turn to, no one to talk to and ask questions, because my brother ended up going to college on a full ride scholarship for basketball. For me, that meant that I would be going to college for academics, so I'd be getting a scholarship for my academics. And I didn't know the process of having to apply to colleges and selecting the colleges that you want to go to, and stuff about the SAT, the ACT. It's just because I didn't have anyone to really turn to. I was kind of doing everything on my own, and yes, I did ask my brother questions, but he was like, oh, I didn't have to do that because I got offered a scholarship and I just had to sign this whatever contract or deal or whatever. So for me, it was kind of I need to figure everything out on my own. Yes, I could turn to counselors in high school, and I could even turn to teachers, but it was me trying to find out what I wanted to do and just really find out all the resources on my own, because I didn't want to ask too many people too many questions. Yes, I'm a little bit prideful sometimes, but I just felt I really wanted to understand the process for myself and really just feel accomplished knowing that hey, I put in the work and I did all of this to find out what I wanted to do in order to get on the path for college. But so when I came to UCSB, I was so lost. I knew nothing about financial aid. I didn't really know much about the resources that they offered on campus for first generation students. There were little things that I just did not know about the whole process of college, like moving in and like living in the residence halls, just stuff like that, because I had no one to really ask and turn to. So it was kind of me figuring everything out on my own. But when I came to UCSB, that wasn't until I was in the EOP program, and they offer so many resources. Like, I'm still finding out that I could take the LSAT and get prep classes, or the GRE and prep classes, for free through EOP, and I'm really grateful for that because they offer so many great resources and programs for students. Like, I remember moving in and I was kind of like, oh, what else do I want to like double major in, or what do I want to minor in? And I just went into the office, and literally one of the ladies there, she printed out the sheet for me. She's like, hey, here is what you need to take if you want to major or minor in this. I'm glad that I'm able to give you all this information. And we were just talking about life, and they were like, you can come in at any time and literally just talk to us about anything. I'm just really grateful to go to a university that really cares about their students and who reaches out to students and gives them all these resources. I think another really big thing for me for being first generation is that when you go to a university, you are gonna have students who are more privileged than you. So you could see them like taking trips all the time, or like talking about how they're gonna go shopping all the time, or maybe they don't have to work or do stuff like that. Coming from me, yes, I am pretty privileged, and I'm glad that I'm able to have financial support. But also, like, me coming to a university, I knew that like I didn't want to depend too much on my family, and I wanted to get a job and do things for my own and just find my way around the university and really just have a gauge on what I wanted from this university and not have to depend too much on my family for things. So that meant, like, when I came, I did get a job. I worked as a tour guide, and then the next quarter after that, I applied to be an orientation staffer. And then the next quarter after that, I applied to be a visitor center intern. So it just meant that I would get jobs that would be able to financially support me. And that's something that I'm really thankful for. But I also knew that, like, hey, maybe I have to postpone going on a trip with my family so that I could work and be able to financially support myself in college. Or maybe I need to make more money to set aside for the apartment I want to live in for next year. I'm not saying this to like bag on anyone who is pretty privileged and they do get money from their parents, but this is just my personal experience of how I did come into college with the mindset that I don't want to depend too much on my family, and I just want to get a job and be able to support myself. Also, for being first generation, it was really challenging when I started taking classes and just really getting like a gauge on college life in general. Like, again, I couldn't talk to anyone about it because my brother had such a different experience because he was always traveling for basketball, always in practice and stuff like that. And for me, it was kind of like I got dropped into college, having to experience everything by myself. But for me, it was like, okay, I'm here and I need to make sure that I have a really good GPA so I can go to law school. One thing that really did help me was just talking to advisors and really just talking to different people and getting their experiences, because going to such a diverse school, I was able to meet so many people in different classes because I genuinely enjoy talking to people and getting to know people and just finding out their different interests. And this is how I formed really close friendships and relationships with different people. And this was just really valuable to me with my experience because I'm able to connect with other people and give back, whether that be like with advice or personal experience that I've had. Another really big thing that came with being first generation at this university was the fact that I always felt like I didn't belong, which is totally normal for someone who is first generation. But I think for me that it took a really big toll because I would have doubts. Like, yes, I'll get really good grades. I could get A's on a paper or A in a class. And I felt like I still don't belong here. Like, I'm missing something. Like, a part of me is missing and I'm not doing as well as I should be, even though I was getting A's. But I kind of felt unsatisfied just because I didn't know if this is somewhere that I fit in and somewhere I belong, because I know people who had siblings at UCSB and they know all the ropes, they know everything about UCSB and they know what to do, what they're there to do. And for me, it was kind of like, yes, I know what I want to do with life, but I need to figure out the ropes for my own self. And that was really hard for me because all these other people had people that they could turn to and talk to about the college experience, while I was just sitting there like, yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of figuring it out on my own. Which is completely normal because there are so many other people at UCSB who feel the same way, and I know that I'm not alone, and I know that I could just talk to them and be able to get their advice and just be able to exchange different experiences that we've had. And I'm really grateful for that because there are some experiences where I totally felt alone. I'm like, this is not happening to anyone else and it's only happening to me and I don't know what to do. But then I could talk to someone that's happening to them too, and I'm like, yes, I found someone who's experiencing the same type of thing that I'm going through, and we could talk about it and just share ideas how we can get through that. And that's something that I really valued my first year at UCSB. And I think that one experience that I really took from my first year was the fact that the professors at the school are amazing. Like, I remember just breaking down, not knowing how to do a certain thing for a class or how to study for a class. And I just went to talk to my professor during the office hours. And it was extremely helpful because we sat down and we talked about everything. And I really just left with a better understanding of not only the class, but also just college in general, because I felt so alone. I felt like I was in the dark, like I didn't belong here. And I just talked to this professor and we really just got deep into just being at a university and what that means, especially for a first generation student, but also a Black student. Like, I'm gonna make another video about this because this is a whole separate experience that I've had from being a first generation student. But just being first generation, it made me feel like, and it still does, makes me feel like I'm alone and that I have no one to turn to and that I'm not meant to be here. But the thing that I love about this experience is that I can talk to anyone about it and we can bond over it and really just share tips and ideas of how we are going to conquer being a first generation student and what this means for us. And it's a huge milestone. Like, I just want to congratulate everyone who is a first generation student because it's hard. Like, it's extremely hard to be first generation at a university, especially a really prestigious university where they have so many legacy children and you feel like you don't belong there. You feel like you don't fit in because you have no one who started out for you, like showed you the ropes and guided you in the right direction. But just know that you can make a difference and you can use this experience to give back and just make a difference, whether it be in your hometown, in your community, at your university. Just know that you are meant to be at this university or college for a reason, and you are going to do really big things in life. And just know that I support you, the whole world supports you, and you will make a difference in the world. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I will be making some more videos pretty soon. So if you like the video that you watched today, please give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I would love it so much if you subscribe to my channel. But thank you all. That is it for this video. I will see you all in the next one. I can't sleep, I'm wide awake. I've been up since yesterday.